Happy May to everybody. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And also, it happens to be the 4th episode of Monday Night MarshStream. I just feel like it's all aligning. It's just great. It's going to be a great show. I feel it. So up first, we have technical writer Scott Knaster with his piece, Adjacent to Greatness. Adjacent to Greatness is about finding meaning, genius, and craziness in everyday events through 35 years of working in Silicon Valley. Here's Scott.
Before I lived in Silicon Valley, I worked for Silicon Valley. I grew up in Denver, and at 18, I was a college dropout nerd, working at a movie theater, living with my parents, who really loved computers. And in particular, I loved a computer called an Apple II. I saw it in a store, and it was meant to be. I saved literally all my money in the world to buy one, and it wasn't enough. So I borrowed some more from my dad, thanks Dad, and bought an Apple II. And that computer became my life. I spent my days and nights working and playing on it, learning about it, and it kind of got me a job because at 20, still in Denver, I went to work at the Apple sales office. This was incredible. Actually, Apple was too teeny tiny to have offices yet in places like Denver. So this was something called a manufacturer's rep firm, kind of like outsourcing. They couldn't have their own offices, so they hired this company to represent them to the computer stores and the customers. So it was kind of like working for Apple, but not really exactly like working for Apple. And believe me, I knew the difference. So working at this company, one morning, my boss, Rick, walks in and he says, "Everybody get together for a minute. I want to talk to you." Now, there's about 8 of us in this office, and we all come over, and Rick gets up front and says, "Just want to let everybody know we're going to have a visitor from Apple Corporate today." And we're all like, "Oh, that's cool. Who is it?" He says, "Steve Jobs is in town. He's coming by. We're going to all take him out to lunch." Oh my God. Steve Jobs. I am a 20-year-old nerd. I love Apple Computer, and I am in shock. And you have to understand, this is a sales office. This is not a technical office. It's not an engineering office. There's no engineers there. The other people who work there, this is just their job. They don't even love Apple or computers like I do. And they're older than 20. So do they know better? I don't know. But yes, it's true. I am the only actual nerd working there. I am the only one whose mind is exploding at the idea of meeting and having lunch with Steve Jobs. Of course, I get no work done all morning. I'm thinking about, what am I going to say? Should I tell him I really want to move to California and work for Apple? Should I impress him with my vast knowledge of Apple products? I have no idea. Why is he in town anyway? Is he, I don't know, is he negotiating a treaty with the Romulans or something? And then it's time. But he's not here. He's running a little late. And then a little later. And then he's very late. And pretty soon, it's clear we're not going to be taking Steve Jobs out to lunch. But he's still coming, right? And I'm still going to meet him. And finally, 2.5 hours late, through our door walks Steve Jobs. And now he's here. And the 8 of us kind of drift up to the front of the office like a magnet is pulling us. And my boss, Rick, greets Steve and starts to introduce us. And Steve kind of waves his hand and says, "I really only have a minute. I got to get to the airport. I'm sorry I'm so late." And everybody sort of nods, okay, except me, who is crushed because I'm 8 feet away from Steve Jobs and I won't even get to talk to him. And as Steve, who just got there, starts to leave, my boss, Rick, stops him and says, "I have something for you." And he hands him one of these little key rings. Rick had a bunch of these made to hand out to customers and dealers. He's really proud of them. And Steve looks at it. And Rick is smiling, waiting, for the praise. And Steve, who was looking kind of distracted before, is now highly focused on this key ring. And he narrows his eyes and he says, "This is shit. You cannot do this to the Apple logo. You have the colors all wrong. You put quotes around the slogan. And you can't have spaces between the colors. The Apple logo is the greatest logo in the world, and you have completely trashed it. You can't give these to anybody. You need to destroy them all." Now it's Rick who's absolutely crushed. And Steve walks away, and nobody mentioned the key rings ever again. Now, it's 40 years later. There are so many weird, wonderful things to see in the world. All you have to do is look around you. And if technology is involved, then things can get really bizarre. Speaking of bizarre, now I work at Google. We have offices all over the country and all around the world. And in a giant connected company like this, you might have to work with anyone, anywhere. Now, nowadays, a lot of us have gotten used to working online where we weren't before. Many of us have been working that way for a while, even in the before time. Sometimes it's very handy. For example, a few years ago, I needed a file at work, and the person who wrote the file happened to be in Dublin, Ireland, not California. So I messaged him and I told him what I needed, and he helped me out in like 2 minutes, and I had what I wanted. And I love that. I love that in this giant, giant company that can be so impersonal, I needed someone's help, a particular person, to do my job, someone I had never met, who was thousands of miles away, and it got done right away. I love that spirit and that technology. Now, one of the problems that you can run into with this is time zones. Time zones are very tricky. Another project, I was working with a team in Stockholm. That's Stockholm, not Stockton. It's 9 hours ahead of us in California. And our time zones are a terrible match, 9 hours apart. When they're going home, we're just waking up. And it's easy to let things drop for an entire day between the time zones. But we found out with some careful planning, you can actually take advantage of time zones, and that you have people from two sides of the world working on something together. We needed to finish this project in 2 weeks. And with some planning, we kind of worked in double shifts, a Stockholm day and they went home, and then a California day. And then the next morning in Stockholm, they picked it up. So everybody worked a normal day. Nobody was working crazy hours, but we got twice as much done. We kind of felt like we were hacking the universe or something. Now, sometimes you're online, but you also have an office to go to. Remember offices that we used to have to go to? Well, this can make things even stranger. A few years ago, I was assigned to work on a project with, again, somebody I didn't know. All I had was their name and email address. Chris X. Lee was the person's name. Now, I'm a technical writer, like Alexa said. Chris is an engineer. And we emailed a few times to work on the project, and we messaged each other, and we kind of got it done in a few weeks, and it's over. And then maybe a month later, I'm walking into work, and I see near my desk, like 10 feet away from my desk, there's a computer, and the screensaver is running, and the screensaver is a name bouncing around. You ever see those screensavers? And the name is Chris X. Lee. The engineer I've been working with for 3 weeks, have never met, is not in Seattle or New York City or China or Australia or Sweden or Stockton. They're literally 10 feet from my desk, in my building, on my floor. And I think that's amazing. What are the odds? We have to meet in person. I can't wait to meet Chris in person. We have to get lunch or something. And guess what? We never got lunch. We still have never met. And that's technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I know we worked together a few times in the past, and I just love hearing different variations or different parts of the story. It's just crazy because Silicon Valley has blossomed into something huge in what seems like such a short amount of time. So it's awesome to hear stories from the before time, as you call it.
Yeah. You know, our whole lives are online now, so.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that it was also great advice on the time zones, because especially at this point in time when we're using Zoom all the time and we're connecting with people across the country and world. It's just funny because a couple weeks ago we had a performer, a Celtic fiddler, on here who was zooming in from Ireland, and it was like 4 a.m. here. I was like, wow. But
yeah, time zones are weird, and you can either take advantage of them, or you can use them as a good excuse for why things take longer.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, this is a week late. It took a while through time zones.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alexa, for letting me on again, and I love doing Monday Night Marsh.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so let's go on to the next performer. We've got the amazing Brittany Kamerschen, who was our previous program director for Monday Night Marsh, and love her, so I'm so happy to have her on here. She'll be performing a piece called Poolside Skid Row. Brittany Kamerschen is a local poet and performer. She has a BA in creative writing from San Francisco State University. Poolside Skid Row is a poetic prayer to the great city of Los Angeles, a place Brittany once called home. Take us to LA, Brittany.
There's a man out there in the middle of Winston Street. He's tall, skinny, shirtless, staggering about like a pill-popping 1970s rock star. It's 7 p.m. on a Sunday, and my cat is bothering me now too. Fuck Los Angeles and the LAPD. Fuck Los Angeles and the LAPD. His shadow appears intermittently between the flicker of the one working streetlight. Tanned and tattooed, chest puffs outward, bony shoulders arch upward as he howls out into the smog storm of dry desert air. Fuck Los Angeles and the LAPD. Fuck Los Angeles and the LAPD. His voice echoes off the Southern California concrete, but the nearby Little Tokyo and Arch districts are immune to his pronouncing pain. Rooftop parties and the dying sound of street festivals continue to glow in their fuchsia glamour, light, and laughter. But down here in Skid Row, his words stir the secret night watchers who peek out of loft windows and wonder what will happen next. 2 hours later, blue and red lights flash. Cops arrive, handcuff the man, and take him away. I still see him sitting in the back seat, his face leaning towards the plexiglass divider as he whispers to the cops in the front. Fuck Los Angeles and the LAPD. Fuck. Cop car turns right off on the South Sanpete, heads west towards the I-10, passing the toy warehouses, the flowers, the tiny taqueria, through Skid Row as the homeless crawl in and out of their side rock tents, some adjusting their cardboard mats, while free-roaming pets and rats rifle through the piles of garbage on the streets, and the streets toss and turn, and the streets toss and turn under an orange-brown sky, waiting for angels to appear. Lights, camera, action. I'm standing on the red carpet, attending the Rooftop Cinema Club at the New House Studio, overlooking Sunset Boulevard and the Sidewalk of Stars in Hollywood, California. I'm about to watch my favorite icon, Marilyn Monroe, in Some Like It Hot. I'm on a rooftop full of sexy strangers. The red carpet leads me to an open cabana bar with the arousing aromas of fresh mint and Meyer lemon, and there stands a young bartender who looks like James Dean. White collared shirt, blue jeans, shaking a cocktail. Hey doll, what do you have? He's so cool the way he talks. He's like from the 50s. Hey doll, what do you have? He hands me a menu, and I give him my best Marilyn Monroe. I'll take the Sunset Boulevard. What's in it? Good choice. Pineapple, vodka, cherries, sweet like you. God, he is hot. So, how's your night going? God, you're hot. I mean, hot. I mean, it's a hot night. I just moved here from San Francisco, and yeah. Well, what made you? Welcome to town, Miss Norma Jean. This is the city of your dreams. How long have you been in Tinseltown for, young lady? He calls me young lady. I'm old enough to be his bartender. I mean, I'm old enough to be his bartender. What made you make the move? Well, palm trees, warm weather, and single straight man. Yeah, well, where do you live? Well, I don't live here in Tinseltown. I live in a loft downtown LA next to Skid Row. Oh, classic. Lots of characters down there. You better be safe. Well, I'm also out of town. Oh, yeah? Where are you from? Alaska? Brr. What made you make the move? Palm trees, warm weather, and yes, I'm a single straight man. But I'm also an actor. Well, isn't everybody an actor in LA? Sure. But you see, I've got connections. See, I got a friend who's a friend of a friend of a casting director of the next big hit movie on Netflix, hot enough to be president. Oh, wow. Well, what role are you up for? President. Oh my God. I'm thinking, did James Dean have a thing with Marilyn Monroe? Because maybe Mr. James Dean lookalike and me, Miss Marilyn Monroe wannabe, could change the course of star history. Maybe we could dine at taco trucks, read lines, drink cocktails under the shadeless palm tree. Maybe this is my moment. The reason I moved to LA, to have adventures. And just then, I feel the Santa Ana wind whirl its warmth around me. I'm in a trance. I see the summer sun cast a shadow of me across the red carpet, my cocktail in hand and wavy hair. I sit back and I feel that something exciting is about to happen. And I sit back, look up at the stars on the screen from years ago, and the movie begins.
So now we'd like to welcome Boswick the Clown to the stage. What does he have to say to us? He says, watch your kids giggle like you've never seen before. Boswick will have them in stitches. Boswick is a former Ringling Brothers circus clown and will perform comedy magic and juggling for Monday Night MarshStream, filmed for you in a real clown studio. Let's welcome Boswick.
There I am! It's so exciting! Hello, Monday Night Marsh. It is so nice to see all of you. It is so exciting to. Oh, I'm gonna move this up. Hello, look at that. You get to see right up my nose, right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, let me introduce myself again. My name's Boswick. I know. All right. Monday Night Marsh, it is so exciting. Oh, I was watching technical stuff. I love the story, the technical story about the first Apple computer. There we go. This is my first iPod. This is my first phone, and my second phone, and my third, and you get the point. And I'm sorry for causing the everyone to go home from using too much Corona. All right. Oh, and I brought my Bluetooth. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Alexa, I liked when you introduced me as a former clown, never former, never, always a clown. All right, let's get ourselves ready. We're gonna be very silly. I'm Boswick, and let myself get ready. La 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 la. I know, handsome. You wanna know something really funny? Someone married this. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Boswick. Are you doing okay in quarantine? I've lost a lot of weight. I know you can't tell, but here we are. It's just my drawers. I used to be this big. All right, and here we are. We're going to do magic. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Boswick, would like to perform magic for you. And now, I'm going to go. Tastes like hat. Blech. Rich. Here we are. 1, 2, 3. What? I know. I can hear you applauding across San Francisco. Speaking of San Francisco, you know what you call 2 Trump supporters in San Francisco? All of them. Okay, all right. I assume everyone on the Monday Night Marsh is a liberal. Okay, all right, here we are. And now, yes, magic. I love food. I know you can tell that. Love food. In fact, I love ketchup. Love ketchup so much, I put ketchup on my ketchup. In fact, when I see ketchup on my ketchup, I put more ketchup. I love ketchup. I'm going to perform a little magic for you right now. I have here a bag. I'm going to show you. There we are. Look in there. One bag, empty, empty. Everything's gone. Okay, here we go. One bag and one, here it is, 1 bottle of ketchup. I'm gonna take this bottle of ketchup, put it in there, snap my fingers, and it's gone. Snap again, and it returns. I know. Where do they get talent like this? I know. All right. We'll do real magic. Here we are. I'm gonna take this bottle of ketchup, put it in there, snap my fingers, and show you that it's gone. I know. It's amazing. I know. Talent. There it is. It returned. See? The bottle of ketchup goes in there. It's gone. It returns. You know what? This is a tough crowd. Like this. Oh, I know what'll win them over. Juggling. I have juggling for you. All the kids love you. Who left their underwear on the ground? All right. Here we are. Juggling for this crowd. 3 clubs. Nothing on top. Nothing in. See? All right. 3 juggling things. Here. Oh, look at that one. We're going to take that one for a spin. Go. Return. Stay. All right. Here we are. Juggling. I know. Years of practice. Ow. I don't think that was worth it. The tips aren't even going to me. Ow. Okay. We have to do this. More magic. You're gonna love this. I know the average age of the crowd watching here is not my usual 4 or 5-year-olds. It's more like 40, 50, 60-year-olds. The Marsh crowd. All right. I have here another bag. It's my evening of bags. Some of you will love this. I've had this trick so long, you'll see it's that store. They haven't been in business for 25 years, but I never write new material. All right, sure. For all of you, I have a bag. A bag, and in the bag, I've got a scarf. This is an amazing scarf. It's a black scarf. It's got white spots. A black scarf with white spots. And over here, I've got a white scarf with black spots. A white scarf with black spots and a black scarf with white spots. I do all my own choreography. All right, here it is. I'm gonna take this white scarf with black spots, put it in the bag. Take this black scarf with white spots, put it in the bag. Say a little magic word, Monday Night Marsh. And when you weren't looking, the white scarf with black spots is now a black scarf with white spots. And the black scarf with white spots is now a white scarf with black spots. Ta-da! What? You wanted real magic? All right, okay. All right, I'm gonna take this white scarf with black spots and this black spots, my tongue's perspiring. This black scarf with white spots, I'm gonna put it in the bag. This white scarf with black spots, I'm gonna put it in the bag. Snap my fingers, say Monday Night Marsh, and that black scarf with white spots and that white scarf with black spots, they came out tied. It's a pun. All right, what do you want? It's a free show. All right, here. All right, I believe I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. More than that, I'm running out of time. As I saw by the participants, my wife's watching this, and when she sees what I do for a living, I'm definitely out of town, and out of time, and I'm gonna have to find a new place to live. All right, here we are. For all of you, because I love the marsh. Stephanie, dear Stephanie, I love Stephanie. Do you know that I was one of your first performers? You're nodding your head, but you're lying. I performed for you at the old Hotel Utah. That's right, 30-something years ago. All right, just to establish that, you know, I've been around the block, let me tell you. I have here a fish. I bring out the fish because my jokes are floundering. And I usually work for scale. In the fish, I have balloons. It's a blowfish. I call it Hootie. Now, you can't have a clown without a balloon. It's just sort of a union rule thing. So we have to do a balloon for you. I'm going to do a balloon. There we go. One purple balloon. It hurts a lot. All right, one purple balloon. One red balloon. A lot of burritos. One, ooh, I like this one. Look at this one, you're gonna love this. Everyone loves this color. Look at that, UPS. All right, one orange balloon. One orange balloon. Now, you may not think you can rhyme this with anything, but I'm a professional kids entertainer. I can rhyme anything. Pink. I say pink, stink. I say orange, door hinge. I looked it up on the internet. Door hinge. Okay, here we are. One orange balloon that I can rhyme. One pink balloon. There we go. One pink balloon for this crowd. You ever have one of those days at work? All right. One purple balloon. One purple balloon. One clown. One very handsome clown. One clown studio. One clown that got his first unemployment check today. I'm gonna go out and buy some bread or milk or something. It's exciting. All right, here we are. One purple balloon, and I'm gonna make something amazing if I can find that balloon. Sometimes I set things down, I forget where I put them. There it is. One balloon. I told you, you can't have a clown without balloon animals. You're gonna love this next trick. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm a balloon dog trainer. Okay, here we are. Balloon dog. There we are. Stay. Roll over. Thank you. Well, you know what? I love performing. I am so honored to be part of Marsh. It's so exciting. It's so exciting for me. Thank you so much for including me. To everyone that works for the Marsh, I want to send something to you. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to put it right up to the camera. And I'm going to send you lots of love because I know you need it because no one's making a whole lot of money right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Boswick.